Hare Krishna. Welcome everyone to our weekly Bhagavad Gita session. Uh, every week we pick up a topic from Bhagavad Gita, and we try and discuss it in detail. Try and look at that topic from different aspects, अलग अलग तरीकों से उस टॉपिक के ऊपर चर्चा करने की कोशिश करते हैं. एंड भगवत गीता में अनगिनत टॉपिक है. ईच वर्स कैन हैव मल्टीपल राउंड्स ऑफ डिस्कशंस. बट हम अपनी क्षमता के अनुसार, वट एवर आई हैव अंडरस्टूड, वट एवर आई कैन अंडरस्टैंड accordingly, or whatever from the hearing that we hear from the senior devotees, from Prabhupada, from other acharyas, जो कुछ समझ में आता है उतना हम उतना दैट आई ट्राई एंड एक्सप्लेन. जैसे कि आकाश अनलिमिटेड होता है, बट पंछी उसमें उतना ही उड़ पाता है जितनी उनकी क्षमता होती है. वैसे ही एवरी स्पीकर कैन glorify Krishna, can speak about Bhagavad Gita only to the extent of his capacity and the mercy that is available from Guru and Parampara. So, with that, with this mood, in this mood, we'll try to glorify Lord, His words, and and the and the and the message given by Srila Prabhupada and other senior devotees. So, topic that we'll pick up today for discussion, we picked up today for discussion is purification of the self, managing instincts and impulses of our mind. Yeah. And we'll find out what are we talking about. But if it is got everything to do with the transformation of the self. So this is what has been our theme. We discuss in every session that we want to learn Bhagavad Gita for devotional transformation. We just don't want it for academic interest. We don't want it for learning Sanskrit. We don't just want to learn Bhagavad Gita to learn diplomacy, to learn politics, to learn strategy, to learn motivational skills. All of that can be available, and using various aspects from Bhagavad Gita, people can use it for different purposes. But the primary purpose of Bhagavad Gita is to be able to become is Bhagavad Gita is a song of love, song of love, and out of love Bhagavad Gita was spoken, and the love, compassion, and mercy. These are the prominent rasas of Bhagavad Gita, and Krishna want to give this to Arjuna. Out of causeless mercy, he wants to become his chariot driver, accept a very menial service. Out of causeless mercy, he's explaining. Taking pain to explain to Arjuna different aspects of connecting with him ultimately, and he introduces him progressively in Bhagavad Gita, not from the first verse, but eventually he will come to the come to the come to put himself at the center of all discussion, and by declaring himself to be the supreme personality of Godhead, and that he will do progressively. And we have seen in the fourth chapter of Bhagavad Gita that he has done that remarkably. Suddenly, he changed gear while discussing Karma Yoga. He explained that how he explained this knowledge to Sun God at the beginning of creation. And in response to a question by Arjuna that Sun God is Prachin, and you and I have taken birth apparently in this age. We are of same age almost. So how am I to understand that you gave this knowledge to Sun God? So for satisfying his query, Krishna explained some aspects of his divinity, some aspect of his being supreme personality of Godhead, and then he resumed his discussion about Karma Yoga, and we're discussing some of the verses from fifth chapter, and with reference to that only, we have picked up topic for today. So suffice it to say that this devotional transformation is the focus of our discussion for today in the rest of the class. How we are all on a battlefield, on the battlefield. Every day we are battling with our own mind, we are battling with our own desires, we are battling with our own sensual demands. And and the outside we are battling with the whole world, starting with our own spouses, our own children, our own parents, our own brothers, our own sisters, and so everyone wants to snatch away our valuable things, be it time, be it money, be it a share of intelligence, be it share of love. And so different ways in which people are trying to extract things out of us, and we are protecting ourselves to the best of our ability. So the battle is on. So nobody should think that they are not on the battlefield. So, in the fifth chapter of Bhagavad Gita, we picked up some verses, a set of verses from 5.7 till 5.11 for today's discussion. So this is where Krishna Arjuna asked a question that should he fight, should he not fight, and in response to which Krishna is again explaining in detail why he should fight and why he should not consider the Sankhya. In the last session we discussed about how Krishna explained that the Sankhya and Karma, action in devotional service and analytical study, both will bring you to the same conclusion that you should act. You should not give up work in a premature way. So, and you should, and the same theme is being discussed now. That Krishna is now actually explaining that how one acts and how we should act. Okay, so yoga yukto vishodhatma vijitatma jitendriyaha sarvabhutatma bhutatma kurvan apina lipyate. Translation: one who work in devotion, who is a pure soul and who controls his mind and senses, is dear to everyone, and everyone is dear to him. Though always working, such a man is never entangled. Now, the problem that Arjuna had is that if I work, if I'm attached to sense gratification, if I'm attached to the sensual pleasures, then I will act. I will fight this war because then, I will be able to win my kingdom. And if I become king, if we win the battle, become king, we will have palace, we will have lots of scope for enjoyment. So if I'm attached to sensual enjoyments, I should fight the war and try and win this kingdom. But if I'm not attached to sensual enjoyments, I can give up. I can live. I've already lived for almost 13 years as in forest. I can continue to do that for rest of my life, and I can save the life of so many people. So many people need not be killed because of just for my want of becoming king. So if I'm not attached to sense gratification, I should not fight the war. That was Arjuna's, in a simplistic way, he understood the message. He was trying to interpret the message of Krishna. But at the end of fourth chapter, Krishna again remind him, fight, get up and fight, tasma uttishtha, and fight. And then he said, why fight? I mean, if you want me to enjoy param shanti, para shanti, that was explained in 4.39, then there is the question of fight. Are these not opposite instructions? If you want me to enjoy param shanti, supreme peace, then how the fighting is out of question. If I fight, how can there be peace? If I want peace, how can there be fight? How can you think both means the same thing? I'm not able to understand. And then Krishna explains further, and this is where this is the section where Krishna is explaining the how to act in such a way that it will not cause bondage. Now, the Arjuna was also worried about bondage. If I act, I'll get bound, and if I get bound, I will my liberation, my chances of becoming liberated will be endangered, because if I have incurred karma, those reactions will come eventually, and if and then I'll have to suffer. I'll have to keep taking birth in order to suffer and enjoy for those reactions also. So Arjuna is confused. What am I supposed to do really? So this is where Krishna guides him that the one who work in devotion, one who is a pure soul and who control his mind and senses. Now, such a person, Krishna is saying, is dear to everyone and everyone is dear to him. So, a pure devotee of Krishna will have all these qualities, will have control over his mind and senses, Shama and Dama. These are some of the important qualities of Brahmanas that Krishna explained in the 18.42nd verse. So, and if you have control over your mind and your senses, then your activities will be regulated. If your activities are regulated, you will not fall prey to the anarthas, the lust, anger, greed, hate, envy, and so all. You will be, you will be saved from all those anarthas. So you will become dear to everyone and everyone will become dear to you. So though always working, such a man is never entangled. Now Krishna is saying that such a person is not entangled, means his work does not produce reactions, and that is the art of doing work. Then the question can be, how, what does he really do? What does this person do? And that's summarized in a beautiful way in the 8th and the 9th verse. The person in the divine consciousness, although um, although engage in seeing, hearing, touching, seeing, hearing, touching, smelling, eating, moving about, sleeping, and breathing, always knows within himself that he actually does nothing at all. Because while speaking, evacuating, receiving, or opening and or closing his eyes, he always know that only the material senses are engaged with their objects and he is aloof from them. Now, various actions are described by Krishna in this particular in this set of two verses, and Prabhupada give a combined translation of the same. Now, this is a list of all the action, the seeing, hearing, touching, smelling, eating, moving around, sleeping, using your legs, using your five senses, then using your leg, sleeping, breathing. These are, breathing is involuntary action. हम सोचते नहीं है कि अभी ब्रीथ करना है, अभी नहीं करना है, मे भी नहीं करना है, तभी सोचते रहते हैं कि अभी प्राणायाम है तो मुझे I have to hold my breath, but in generally we breathe without any thought कि अभी breathing करना है. So it's not a voluntary action. It's called involuntarily. We keep breathing. The food keep getting digested in our stomach. So we don't sit down. अभी मैं digestion के लिए बैठूंगा. So involuntary actions and voluntary actions, everything is constantly happening. So these are all the activities everybody, devotees, non-devotees, atheists, everybody will have to undergo, will have to perform. And Krishna is saying that now these are the activities. When devotees, pure devotees, when they perform these activities, he always know that this is only the interaction between material senses and their objects. And soul, as a soul, I'm aloof from them, I'm different from them, I'm not involved in them. So that way, he does not get entangled in them. He does not have any motivation behind them. He allow things to happen. However, he's personally not involved in all of those actions. So Krishna explains the same point further in the next three verses, where Krishna says that such person is not a doer, as there is no emotional involvement or enjoying mentality, enjoying thought behind these actions. So last time also we discussed this, that what separates karma from akarma. Akarma means the action that does not yield, does not produce a fruit. And karma is such action, good or bad, that will produce a fruit. Now, what is the primary difference is the motivation, is the thought behind action. The if as long as we work with with a thought of enjoying or causing enjoyment, uh, that motivation is there, then that is called karma, and that will produce a fruit. If we perform it in a nice way, it will produce a positive fruit or a enjoyment that will provide us with some positive fruit, but otherwise it will give us some negative fruit. But the fruit will there always be, as long as we perform that karma with a motivation to enjoy. But when we don't have such motivation, no emotional involvement or enjoying thought behind our action, then such actions can be performed for the pleasure of Krishna. It's not that somebody's pleasure we have to seek. Either we seek our own pleasure or we seek pleasure of our supreme personality of Godhead. And when we act for his pleasure, for his satisfaction, as per his instructions, all our actions are become devoted to him, and they do not produce a fruit, they become a karma. Krishna will explain further that while performing duties with detachment, such person offers results to supreme absolute truth, is unaffected by sinful reactions, as lotus remains untouched by the water. 5.10. We'll look at this verse also. Now, what is explained here, that while even so, Krishna is actually going to say later that even if you will kill, you're not killing it for your personal motive. It's like killing by soldier on the battlefield and killing by the same soldier in the petty fight with his neighbor. Now the action might be same, but the reactions are completely different. For the first action, for when you kill in the on the battlefield the enemy soldiers, you may get reward, or you're not prosecuted for the you're not tried for that killing. You're not responsible, held responsible for that killing. But if you kill your neighbor in a quarrel, then you will be held responsible, accountable for that killing. So the motive is different, and the so so this is how we understand that the similar action when performed with different motives can give different reactions. And so here, Krishna is going to explain Arjuna that even if you will kill, now the killing in general is sinful and will have sinful reactions. But if you will kill to satisfy my order, if you kill basis my order, you will not incur any sinful reactions. There is no reaction to you, in fact, at all. And just like a lotus remains untouched by water, you will remain untouched by the sinful reactions. And then then Prabhupada Krishna is going to explain in the 11th verse in the 5th chapter that such person performs actions using body, mind, intelligence, and senses only for the purpose of purification. Now, this is going to be the theme for the rest of our session. That purification aspect is being explained by Krishna. ब्राह्मण्य आधाय कर्माणि संगत्यक्त्वा करोति यः लिप्यते न स पापेन padma patram ivambasa. One who performs his duty without attachment, surrendering the results unto the Supreme Lord, is unaffected by sinful actions, as the lotus feet remains untouched by the water. Okay, so the same point we discuss, the example of lotus. And then the 11th verse. Kayena manasa buddhya kevalai indriye rapi yoginah karma kurvanti sangatyaktya sangat sangam tya sangam tyaktva atma shuddhaye. Sangam tyaktva atma shuddhaye. Now, this is the key. The yogis abandoning attachment act with the body, mind, kayana, manasa, buddhya. Kaya means body, manasa means mind, buddhi means intelligence. So, my body, mind, and intelligence, and with the senses, even with the senses, kevalai indriyerapi, even with the senses, only, and but when they act only for the purpose of purification, only for the purpose of purification. of the self. So this is going to be the theme for us in the rest of the session. We'll look at purport. When one act in Krishna consciousness for the satisfaction of the senses of Krishna, any action, whether of the body, mind, intelligence, or even the senses, is purified of material contamination. There are no material reactions resulting from the activities of a Krishna conscious person. So, very clearly, Prabhupada is defining that which actions do not produce results, do not give a outcome or or does not cause karma bandha, but we have to act. So instead of acting for the satisfaction of our senses, we have to satisfy the senses of Krishna. And such actions are are um, the Prabhupada says that these are the actions in Krishna consciousness. So when you act according to the instruction given by Krishna in Bhagavad Gita, when you offer bhoga and eat prasad, that's a clear instruction given by Krishna. So when you only cook sattvic food, offer it as a bhoga and eat it as a prasad, such eating does not cause any sinful reaction. However, if you do the otherwise, then Krishna said very clearly in the 3.30 that people don't who people who eat without offering verily eat sin only. It's eating sin. So that eating is also sinful. The magnitude of sin can be lower or higher, but nevertheless it is sinful activity. Even eating is a sinful activity. But when we do actions, when you do killing according to the order of Krishna, that killing does not become sinful. But if you do anything simple act like eating also for your own uh, pleasure, then that eating will also become sinful. Such is the distinction. That is the distinction that we have to learn, and then we have to act according to Krishna's instruction, and then all our actions will become karma free actions. No reactions it will yield. So, Prabhupada write further that there are no material reactions resulting from the activities of a Krishna conscious person. So, we need to become Krishna conscious person. We need to perform all our actions according to Krishna's instructions so that all our actions do not produce any reactions at all. And that is how we make our life peaceful, happy, sin free, and eventually make ourselves eligible to go back to Krishna. Prabhupada write further, therefore, purified activities, which are generally called sadachar, can be easily performed by acting in Krishna consciousness. Prabhupada write further in the same purport of verse 5.11 that such a Krishna conscious person in acting in Krishna consciousness or Krishna conscious person has no false ego, for he does not believe that he is in this material body or that he possesses the body. So this is key. This is because the knowledge of self knowledge, Atma Gyan, knowledge about that one being soul, one, I'm spirit soul, and therefore I have to satisfy my supreme soul. I have to act for the satisfaction of my supreme soul. My body is temporary and I have to just maintain the body, but I have to act according to the instructions of my supreme soul. I have to serve my supreme soul. And that supreme soul is Krishna. So when one gets into this knowledge, one act in that knowledge, that is what Prabhupada is describing. That he has no false ego. Why? Because there is no question of he having false ego, because whatever he possesses has been given by Krishna, and whatever he is using for his own maintenance is also been provided by Krishna, and hence he does not have any sense of ownership over anything. He does not feel he's entitled to anything, he deserves anything, and hence there is no false ego. And when just think about this, that this is a very powerful statement. Krishna speaks in second chapter 47th verse that karmanye eva adhikaraste. कर्म करना आपका अधिकार है। मा फलेषु कदाचन, बट कर्म फल, यू आर नॉट एंटाइटल्ड टू द फ्रूट्स ऑफ योर एक्शन. So this is a powerful statement. You are not entitled to anything in this world. If you wish to breathe, you may have a desire that you want to take next breath. uh, एक सांस लेना है आपको, लंबी सांस लेनी है. कृष्णा हैज टू सैंक्शन इट सो दैट यू कैन टेक इट. आपको सड़क क्रॉस करनी है, कृष्णा मस्ट सैंक्शन इट सो दैट यू कैन क्रॉस इट. you have you are entitled to nothing. Why? Because you are not the only doer. You may have desire, you may do chesta. Chesta means आप प्रयास कर सकते हैं, but result depends on mercy of Krishna. The result outcome depends on the sanction by Krishna. So this 2.47 where Krishna says that if you are not entitled to the fruits of your action, you can extrapolate this sentence and apply it to everything in your life. You're not entitled, this 112 people, all of us are not entitled to be alive right now. Because Krishna is allowing us to be alive, we are alive. Otherwise, all of us could have had heart attack and we all could have died. None of us are entitled to anything, whatever we may possess today. I have a laptop, you may have a mobile phone, smartphone, this phone, that phone. All of you would have been sitting in air conditioned rooms. So we should not consider ourselves entitled to that. Why it? But we still have it. So we should accept it as a mercy from Krishna, as a krupa from Krishna, as a gift from Krishna. And then if you get so much mercy from someone, the natural instinct is to use it in that person's service, offer it to him, not just consume it, enjoy it for free of cost. So we are not entitled to anything. We don't deserve anything, or we don't know what we deserve, but we get what we we deserve from Krishna as a mercy. So if you just have this attitude, if you can just maintain this simple attitude, so we will realize that we can always remain humble, we can always remain grateful for whatever we have. And we should be grateful not generally, but to the person who has given us all this, and that person is Krishna. That is what the outcome of learning Bhagavad Gita, that we become convinced that everything is created by Krishna, everything is maintained by Krishna, everything is provided to us by Krishna. Nature belongs to Krishna, Brahman belongs to Krishna, and all of whatever we possess, we have to return it to Krishna at the end of our life, and we have to continue with our journey until we attain Krishna. So we will talk about that aspects as well. So Prabhupada write further that such a person knows that he is not this body, and this body does not belong to him. He himself belongs to Krishna, and the body too belongs to Krishna. It's given by Krishna. It's all these five element, gross elements, and three subtle elements are all energies of Krishna, and using which our body is constituted. And after giving up this body, when this body becomes useless, we throw away, we give up, we give back these elements back to the nature. A beautiful discussion we was there when Narad Muni was describing the Damodar Lila pastime. When he saw the two sons of Kuvera बहुत मस्ती में थे, बहुत दारू पिए हुए थे, शराब पिए हुए थे, लड़कियों के साथ नग्न घूम रहे थे, एंड विहार कर रहे थे सरोवर में. एंड नारद मुनि आने से भी उनको कोई फर्क नहीं पड़ा. इतनी शराब पी हुई थी, उनको समझ में ही नहीं आ रहा था कौन आया है, क्या करना चाहिए. जो औरतें थी, अदर फीमेल्स वर देयर, दे रियलाइज सडनली दैट नारद मुनि हैज अराइव्ड ऑन द सीन. दे इमीडिएटली कवर्ड देयर बॉडी एंड दे डिसअपियर्ड. बट दीज टू सन्स ऑफ कुबेरा were were just looking at Narad Muni in that intoxicated state, in naked, without covering their body. And Narad Muni was thinking कि क्या चीज है वो जो आदमी को इतना इतनी इतनी मस्ती इतना एरोगेंस प्रदान करती है. हाउ कैन वन बिकम सच अ एरोगेंस? व्हाट डज ही हैव दैट मेक्स हिम सो मच उन्मत्त? अब जैसे कि कोई दारू पिया हुआ, शराब पिया हुआ हाथी हो, मैड एलिफेंट जैसे ये दोनों बिहेव कर रहे हैं. व्हाट इज इन इट रियली that they possess that make them think that they are so great, and they just lost basic common sense, basic etiquettes भी वो भूल गए? ऐसे क्या चीज है? So नारद मुनि then analyzes that ये शरीर इतना क्यों महत्वपूर्ण लगता है? कौन ओनर है इस शरीर का? हु इज द ओनर ऑफ दिस बॉडी? सो इफ यू थिंक, एंड नारद मुनि एक्चुअली एनालाइजेस अबाउट across 10 12 different पोटेंशियल ओनर्स ऑफ द बॉडी, कि इस बॉडी शरीर का ओनर कौन है? क्या पिता ओनर है जिसके वीर्य से ये शरीर बना है? क्या माता और माता इस शरीर का ओनर है, जिन्होंने अपने गर्भ में इस शरीर को पाला है और उसको जन्म दिया है? क्या ये आत्मा इस शरीर का ओनर है? हु ओन्स दिस बॉडी? ये मस्ती इतनी गुर्मी क्यों है, इतनी मस्ती क्यों है इस जीव को? And then he goes on analyzing. But ये शरीर at the end of this life, when the soul will leave this body, this sharir will be offered back to fire. So Narad Muni says maybe then the fire is the owner. But in some cases, this body will be offered to the vultures. The vultures will eat this body and they will pass stool. So maybe those vultures are the owners. But some bodies are actually buried buried under the earth, and so many insects come and feast on this body. So maybe उस वो इंसेक्ट इस शरीर के रियल असली मालिक है. And then Narad Muni also explains about the employer being the owner of this body, who makes this body work 30 years 40 years, जैसे मर्जी आए उसका उपयोग करवाता है. मे बी द फैमिली इज द रियल ओनर, कि जिसके लिए आदमी दिन रात पैसा जुटाने की कोशिश करता रहता है, उनको खुश करने की कोशिश करता है, बट वो खुश नहीं होते, हमेशा दुखी रहते हैं, हमेशा डिमांड करते रहते हैं. ये मिल गया तो वो चाहिए, वो मिल गया तो और कुछ चाहिए, and they're never satisfied. And then this the whole lifetime goes in trying to satisfy the family members. Maybe they are the owners. But इस तरह से अ, नारद मुनि एनालाइज करते हैं एंड कंक्लूड करते हैं कि भगवान इस इसका ओनर है. व्हाई? बिकॉज he knows that this body and he himself, he is not this body, and that his body does not belong to him. He himself belongs to Krishna, and the body also belongs to Krishna. So this is real knowledge, and we should know this, we should remember this, we should act in this knowledge. But we act in the opposite way. We act and we think and act, behave as if this body belongs to us and we are this body. So that is the root cause of all our problems. Prabhupada write further that when he applies everything produce of the body, the mind, intelligence, words, life, wealth, etc., whatever he may have within his possession, जो कुछ आपके पोजीशन में है, सबको भगवान की सेवा में लगाना है. क्यों? क्योंकि आप भगवान के हो और आपका सब कुछ है वो भी भगवान का है, भगवान का ही दिया हुआ है, इसीलिए ये सब भगवान की सेवा में लगाना चाहिए. If you do that, he is at once dovetailed with Krishna. ऐसे कर, दिस इज प्योर डिवोशनल सर्विस, दिस इज प्योर डिवोशनल सर्विस, दिस इज वेरी इजी, everybody can do it, but it's very difficult. It's difficult for the difficult people, but यही करना है हमको. बहुत सिंपल है, बट यही करना है. एंड वी विल सी दिस इन मोर डिटेल कि प्रैक्टिकली कैसे करना है in the rest of the session. Prabhupada write further that he is one with Krishna and is devoid of the false ego that leads one to believe that he is this body, he is the body. His body and everything connected with the body is also his. ये मेरी पत्नी है, ये मेरे बच्चे हैं, ये मेरा घर है, ये मेरी ये मेरी प्रजा है. राजा भी सोचता है ये मेरी प्रजा है, मैं इनका पालक हूँ, मैं इनका राजा हूँ, मैं इनसे जो चाहे व्यवहार कर सकता हूँ. आई एम द किंग, आई ओन दिस land, I own this wealth. At our own level, we may also have similar things that. But that possessiveness, that deservingness, that all comes with the misconception that we are the body and everything. And then we start believing, if you believe that one, एक एक गलती कर दी कि हम ये सोच बैठे कि हम शरीर है, तो फिर हम कई सारी अनेक गलतियां करते रहते हैं कि फिर ये सारे मेरे परिवारजन है, ये मेरा शहर है। आई लव मुंबई, आई लव दिल्ली, आई लव पुणे, तो आई लव इंडिया। देन ये सब मराठी माणूस, तो मुझे मराठी माणूस के लिए आवाज उठानी है। तो मैं गुजराती हूँ तो मुझे गुजरातियों के लिए काम करना है। तो इस तरह से एवरीथिंग connected with the body we think by mistake is also ours, and we just get entangled more and more, more and more, makes our life very very complicated, and most importantly further away from कृष्णा। ये सब चक्कर में हम भगवान को भूल जाते हैं। देन कृष्ण प्रभुपाद राइट्स, गॉड इज द मिसिंग लिंक इन योर लाइफ। तो बाकी सब कुछ है, भगवान नहीं है, तो इसके लिए सब कुछ व्यर्थ है। Everything is useless. Whatever you have, end of it, it will all become zero. So, Shrama eva hi kevalam. No उत्पादयते वासुदेव कथा रुचि, श्रम एव ही केवलम। उत्पादते बहुत सुंदर वर्ड है। उत्पादन शुल्क, एक्साइज, द प्रोडक्शन। सो इफ इट वट एवर यू आर डूइंग, अगर वो भगवान के प्रति रति, प्रेम पूर्वक, प्रेम प्रेम उत्पन्न नहीं कर पा रहा है, भगवान के वसुदेव कथा रुचि, नाम रुचि, देन स्वरूप रुचि, रूप रुचि, so इस तरह से रुचि उत्पन्न नहीं कर रहा है, भगवान में रुचि हमारी नहीं उत्पन्न हो रही है, तो वो जो कुछ हम कर रहे हैं वो श्रम एव ही केवलम है। और वो ऐसा होगा जब होगा वो when we will act without knowledge of Krishna, when we will forget Krishna, when we will assume we are this body, and in that consciousness when we will act, we will forget Krishna. And uh, that is the stage of material existence. That is where we are completely entangled in the material consciousness. And opposite to that is Krishna consciousness. When we keep Krishna at the center, and and do everything as per his instructions, that is perfect stage of Krishna consciousness. That is what Prabhupada explains very beautifully. Everybody can go through this purport once again, um, or go through the slides so that they can learn this very clearly. Another topic that rest of the session that we will devote to is this. There's a beautiful word. This verse 11, 5.11 concluded with the word Atma Shuddhaye. In English, इसको आत्म शुद्ध है। आत्मा means खुद की शुद्धिकरण, purification of the self. Now, what do you mean by this? What do you mean really by purification of the self? Self means क्या? क्या body? क्या हम does it imply we should take bath every day, cut hairs regularly, maintain cleanliness? Does this self means whom? Now, self we've just heard that self means the soul, and so purification of the self. And the question is, self कौन है? Then the question is, another question can be कि ये किसके लिए है? मैं तो भक्त हूँ, शुद्ध भक्त हूँ, तो क्या मेरे लिए जरूरी है? क्या सबके लिए जरूरी होता है? सो क्वेश्चन इज इट नेसेसरी फॉर मी? एंड द लास्ट क्वेश्चन वी विल डिस्कस इज हाउ डू आई डू इट। किसी के लिए भी करना है तो व्हाट टू डू एंड हाउ टू डू, दोनों चीजें मुझे क्लियर है, तो मुझे देन आई कैन थिंक अबाउट डूइंग इट। सो लेट्स टेक अ do a deep dive on this particular beautiful concept. कृष्ण प्रभुपाद जी ने अब इस्कॉन फॉर्म किया है 1965। 19 प्रभुपाद वेंट टू अमेरिका फ्रॉम इंडिया। वृंदावन छोड़ के वो गए अपने गुरु की आज्ञा का पालन करने के लिए। एंड वृंदावन से जाके उन्होंने भागवत ट्रांसलेट किया था, श्रीमद् भागवतम। वो लेके वो अमेरिका गए, अंग्रेजी अंग्रेजी में ट्रांसलेट किया हुआ श्रीमद् भागवतम लेके। एंड प्रभुपाद एस्टेब्लिश इस्कॉन इन 1966। दो तीन चार गिने चुने भक्त थे, अमेरिकन्स थे, और वो थोड़ा इंटरेस्ट दिखा रहे थे। सो प्रभुपाद वाज वेरी एंथुसियास्टिक, एंड प्रभुपाद वाज होपफुल कि दे विल बिकम serious devotees. And with that, Prabhupada established this इंटरनेशनल सोसाइटी फॉर कृष्णा कॉन्शियसनेस। इसके सारे वर्ड्स बहुत ही कॉन्ट्रोवर्शियल थे उस समय। तीन चार लोग थे, एंड देवर इन फॉरेन लैंड, न्यूयॉर्क, जहाँ पे कृष्णा को तो कोई नहीं जानता था। नोबडी न्यू कृष्णा। सो ये इंटरनेशनल सोसाइटी बनी है, बट ये इसका कुछ अता पता नहीं था। दे जस्ट टुक वन स्टोर फ्रंट ऑन रेंट, जिसका पता उनको भी पता नहीं था कि उसके आगे की हर महीने की किस्त कैसे जाएगी। एवरी मंथ दे हैव टू पे रेंट, एंड फ्रॉम वेयर दैट रेंट विल कम दे हैड नो आइडिया। सो पता नहीं वो स्टोर फ्रंट, मैचलेस गिफ्ट नाम का स्टोर फ्रंट भी कितना दिन उनके पास रह पाता। बट दे हैव प्रभुपाद हैड दिस ह्यूज विजन, and hence he named this society while registering it as international society, not छोटा मोटा कुछ नहीं, बड़ा, no, international society. For what? For Krishna consciousness. Now, Krishna, a lot of his devotees suggested कि कृष्णा कॉन्शियसनेस कौन जानता है कृष्णा को। हमने भी अभी सुना है, एक दो चार महीने पहले इस कृष्णा सुना है, हमको तो पता ही नहीं था। आई वॉज, some of them were, music, Mukunda Goswami, who was Michael Grant in his previous avatar. So he was a music player, he was instrument player in a nightclub. तो ये सारे जने ऐसे ही थे, कोई नाइट क्लब, मतलब सारे ही, मोस्ट ऑफ देम वर टेकिंग ड्रग्स और हैड सम कनेक्शन विद ड्रग्स, अल्कोहल, सेक्स। एंड किसी का कोई घरदार नहीं था, बहुत ज्यादा पढ़े लिखे भी नहीं थे सारे जने। सो और ऐसे ऐसे लोगों को लेके, obviously, so Prabhupada, when he began, then that is what that was the that was his vision, that ye, this will become international society for Krishna consciousness. And the devotees, the initial devotees were wondering ये क्या हो रहा है, पता नहीं, but ठीक है, they were believing in Prabhupada, they loved Prabhupada, they knew that this person is a genuine sadhu, and whatever he will do, we need to help him to the best of our ability, despite of all our shortcomings, despite of all our difficulties। हमको इस जीवन इनको समर्पित करना है। ये इतना वो जानते थे, उनको नहीं पता था कुछ भी नहीं, न फिलोसॉफी जानते थे, न भगवत गीता जानते थे, न न श्लोका जानते थे, न उसका मतलब जानते थे, न जपा जानते थे। दे वर ऑल लर्निंग इट वाज। न धोती पहनना जानते थे, न न वर्शिप करना जानते थे, न अगरबत्ती जलाना जानते थे। सो कुछ भी नहीं पता था। And they were but they knew that whatever this man will tell me, I will do it. And they devoted themselves to Srila Prabhupada, out of their love for Prabhupada. So International Society for Krishna Consciousness Prabhupada established, and Prabhupada gave a process, a basis, the Gaudiya Vaishnava philosophy, Gaudiya Vaishnava principles. What are the key teachings Prabhupada brought up to the forefront? This is again, um, we did a comparative study of teachings in the and we can probably hold a separate session for that. But what are the key teachings? So we, on three aspects we studied, we tried doing this research. What are the key teachings? What are the do's and what are the don'ts recommended by different school of thoughts? And we started with Christianity, Islam, and within Hinduism, or so Sanatan Dharma, we looked at various aspects, various spiritual organizations, such as Sadgurus, Sri Sri Ravi Shankar, Ramakrishna Mission, and various others, Brahma Kumaris, and ISKCON, of course. So, and the same is the theme. The same is, the research was done using the same questions, that what are the key teachings, what are the do's, and what are the don'ts. And you'll be astonished to see that all the spiritual organizations so-called spiritual organization does not even tell you that you are a spirit soul. So spirituality begins with this fundamental knowledge कि हम शरीर नहीं आत्मा है. Most of the spiritual, so-called spiritual organizations simply focus on doing asanas, some meditation, some mind, so that your breath can improve and your body can improve. But the conscious, you will still remain bodily conscious. None of them, practically none of them, tell you, recommends you. Also, they don't even uh, recommend a vegetarian diet. What to speak of sattvic vegetarian diet and prasad. So practically, hardly any devotional transformation can take place. It's like doing. We'll see an example. It's like doing. Trying to burn a fire, burn wood by pouring fire on, by pouring water on it, because if you don't stop your colorful activities, and if you just add a couple of spiritual activities, spiritual actions, not even spiritual actions, because meditation is not spiritual, not entirely spiritual. It can improve your concentration, breathing exercise, breathing, etc., and it may help you at a bodily level, but it not done exactly for connecting with Krishna. And Krishna is God, is not there only. The definition of God itself is missing. So, who is my goal? That is not told in everywhere. So in there is complete void, and and so that's when you see that, then you value what Prabhupada has given, because he's given it in with so much clarity. There's no scope for confusion, and therefore anybody who accept this and practice it with sincerity will is bound to see the positive results. Whereas all other practices, there's no transformation of possible, even after lifelong practice of so-called spirituality, there is zero transformation, practically zero transformation of heart. So that's what one realization I got during doing this research. Anybody want, you can message me and I can share with you that those details. So probably somebody can put my mobile number in the chat so that people can send messages and questions also if they need. Uh, so Prabhupada established Krishna to be the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Prabhupada with established Krishna to be the Supreme Personality of Godhead. He didn't have to do much. Why? Because in Bhagavad Gita, Krishna himself establishes himself to be the Supreme Personality of Godhead and the creator of this entire creation, the ultimate source of all creation, maintenance, annihilation, everything is Krishna. Now, in other scriptures refer to somebody that God is the creator, but doesn't tell you who God is. Other scriptures, they will also tell you that there will be annihilation that can happen, but they don't tell who annihilates, they don't tell who maintains, to whom this whole creation belongs to. There's no identification, just God. And then but Krishna himself establishes to be that supreme personality of Godhead. Matta sarva matta parataram na anyad kinchidasti dhananjaya. That there is nobody equal to or greater than me. 7th chapter, 10th chapter. Aham sarvasya prabhavo matta sarvam pravartate. Everything spiritual, material has been created by me, and everything emanates from me, and everything will ultimately dissolve in me. So I am the creator, I am the maintainer, and I will annihilate, and I will annihilate helplessly. This all will unfold. All of you will unfold when I will begin the annihilation. Ninth chapter, Krishna says that Maya adhyakshena prakriti suyate charachara. Uh, this material nature, which a lot of people consider material nature to be God, because they give me water, they give me sunshine, they give me rain, and so on and so forth. So that prakriti is functions under my adhyakshata, Maya adhyakshena prakriti suyate sacharachara. They produce the moving and non-moving objects. Everything is created under my supervision. So Krishna is the supreme personality of Godhead and the ultimate source of all creation. Prabhupada gave this so that there's no confusion. Bhakti yoga, devotion, is the main path. Now there are many paths. Bhagavad Gita also discusses karma yoga, jnana yoga, dhyana yoga, and bhakti yoga. And Krishna recommends that yoginam api sarvesham, सारे योगियों में मदगतेन अंतरात्मना श्रद्धावान भजते यो माम समय युक्त तो ममतः, जो श्रद्धा से मेरा भजन करता है, मेरा डिवोटी बनने की कोशिश करता है, सच योगी इज द सुप्रीम, इज द बेस्ट अमंग all the other yogis. So that is Krishna says my opinion, and Krishna's opinion matters because Krishna is ultimately the supreme personality of Godhead. So that is the final verdict, that Bhakti Yoga is the supreme. While Krishna has explained everything else, he recommended Bhakti Yoga. अनन्य चेता सतत यो माम स्मरति नित्यशः तस्याहम सुलभ पार्थ, सुलभ उसके लिए तो बहुत आसान है, भक्ति करना आसान है, क्योंकि अनन्य चेता सततम यो माम स्मरति नित्यशः, आपको विदाउट एनी डेविएशन भगवान का स्मरण करना है। यो माम स्मरति नित्यशः बोलते मेरा स्मरण करना है, कोई कंफ्यूजन नहीं है। सो आपको कृष्ण का स्मरण करना है, एंड इफ यू कैन डू दैट देन भक्ति करना बहुत आसान है। So and it all begins with the knowledge of soul. The soul is eternal, distinct from the temporary body. Body and soul are not mixed. Soul is different, body is different. Body is temporary, soul is eternal. Therefore, Arjuna was fearless when he killed all the warriors on the battlefield of Kurukshetra. He was fearless. Why? Because he knew that their true nature is that of spirit soul, and that soul cannot be killed. That soul, those all those people who are dying, leaving their body in front of Lord, are sure to get better destinations, and hence fearlessly Arjuna was killing of the body. Killing was applicable to the body. Why? Because body was born. The soul undergoes rebirth until it attains Krishna. The body, he kept changing body. Soul is on a multi-life journey, and destination of that journey is Krishna. Going back to Krishna, from where it all started, it should all end there. And for that, that is the goal of our journey. So all of us should resolve to undertake this journey and go back to Krishna in one lifetime, following the process given by Srila Prabhupada. And what is the process given by Srila Prabhupada is based upon? It is based upon Bhagavad Gita and Srimad Bhagavatam as the foundational scriptures guiding spiritual life. I will eat. 1 o'clock, everyone will feel hungry. So how should one eat? Uh, Eating is the most important activity for the life, for maintenance of our life. So Prabhupada said, food is first offered to Krishna. Yajna shishta asina santo muchante sarvakil bishay. So yajna shishta, offer it as a sacrifice to Yajna Purusha. Yajna Purusha is Krishna himself. So, and then what kind of a food? That patram pushpam phalam toyam yome bhaktya prayashyati. Uh, so patram, pushpam, phalam, toyam. So prepare foodstuffs with sattvic ingredients and offer it to Krishna as a bhoga or nevidyam, and then consume it as prasad, sanctified food. Prasad literally means mercy. Prasad also means your by eating food offered to Krishna, you are creating your home in spiritual world. Prasad also means home or a palace. So so various ways in which these words can be understood, interpreted, but it means the same thing, that by eating prasad you are creating prasad in spiritual world, because you are sure to go back to Krishna if you just eat prasad. Such a simple process. So food has to be offered first to Krishna. Why? Because everything comes from Krishna, everything belongs to Krishna, and everything is given by Krishna. So, as a matter of etiquette, basic gratitude, we offer it to Krishna and then accept it as his mercy, prasad. What are the do's and don'ts that Prabhupada has given? Let's start with the do's. Prabhupada has given spiritual practice. So in ISKCON, Prabhupada has very clearly have articulated what should be done, what should not be done. Chant Hare Krishna Mahamantra regularly. Mahaprabhu says uh, that Kirtaniya Sadahari. Kirtaniya Sadahari. Just now, also the 8.8 chapter verse, we said that Yomam Smarshi, Ananya Chetaha Satatam, Yomam Smarati Nityashaha. That Ananya Cheta is without deviation. Satatam, always. And what do I do? Yomam Smarati में जो कोई मेरा स्मरण करता है. And again, 8 chapter 7th verse also Krishna says that Tasmat Sarveshu Kaleshu Mam Anusmara Yuddhacha. आप मेरा स्मरण करो. कब कब करो? तस्मात सर्वेशु कालेशु. सर्वेशु कालेशु. सारे समय. Every time, all the time, at every moment. So Mam Anusmara. What do you do? Mam Anusmara. Mera Smaran Karo. And Yuddhacha. Perform your prescribed duties. So, um, so so chant Hare Krishna regularly, so that for giving us remembrance of Krishna, we have to chant Hare Krishna. For connecting our mind with Krishna, we have to chant Hare Krishna. For cleansing the consciousness of our mind and intelligence and ego, we have to connect with Krishna. And that connection is established through the japa, through the process of chanting Hare Krishna. This is considered to be the easiest process in the Kali Yuga. Nothing else can be done. No yagyas can be performed. No tapak can be, austerities can be performed. And so everything else is has fault, but chanting of Hare Krishna Mahamantra does not have any fault. Even with fault, we should chant. Initially we may feel कि ये गलत है, वो गलत है, and we will look at those aspects. We'll seek for suggestions from all the exalted devotees assembled in this meeting. But nevertheless, we should chant. जैसे हो चैंट करना चाहिए. जैसा हमको पता चलता है चैंट करना चाहिए. जैसे ही पता चलता है कि भगवान का नाम लेने से ही हमारा उद्धार होगा, तो इमीडिएटली नाम का आश्रय लेना चाहिए. Study Bhagavad Gita and other Vaishnava scriptures. Attend kirtans, prayers, and devotional programs by visiting temple, dham yatra, or arranging them at home by inviting devotees. Spiritual practice. Prabhupada established this. Prabhupada wanted this to happen. In America today also, a program, every temple has a list of homes that where devotees will be visiting for Damodar Ashtakam during the month of Kartik. So devotees visit homes of devotees, other devotees, and sing Damodar Ashtakam, offer lamp, and move to another home. This is the program that they do for 2 hours every evening. So, and then they are offered some food, some prasad. Some prasad is offered by those devotees who invite them. But this is what we should do throughout the year. Every available opportunity, we should invite devotees to our home, or either we should visit homes. We should visit homes of other devotees, or we should visit temple. Temple is place where Krishna is exclusively glorified, and participate in all the activities there in the temple. So lifestyle. What is the lifestyle Prabhupada has given us? Eat vegetarian food that is offered to Krishna. Very simple. You want to eat pizza, but cook it with sattvic ingredients, offer it to Krishna and eat. So practically in ISKCON, we see devotees are eating all kind of foods, but it's all cooked with love, offered with devotion, and all the ingredients are all sattvic, and then it can be offered, and it can be accepted, it can be taken as
Different to
prasad. So that is that is what is the recommendation is: eat vegetarian food that is offered to Krishna, practice compassion towards all living beings, and engage in selfless seva, selfless service. The service attitude, uh, सो भक्ति से सर्विस एटीट्यूड आता है, एंड सर्विस करने से भक्ति बढ़ती है. सो बोथ काइंड ऑफ हेल्प ईच अदर. and we should do it. Some kind of seva. All of you, most of you probably would have been engaged in some kind of a seva where we contribute on a regular basis, monthly basis, some portion of Lakshmi that we earn. We are not able to work for Krishna, but at least whatever we wherever we work, whatever we get, we can offer a small portion of that to Krishna, some portion of it to Krishna. And regularly we should do Brahman Bhojan. Regularly we should invite devotees, and we should conduct programs. We should assist in the propagation of Krishna consciousness movement, so that it reaches to the masses. It reaches to the every person on this planet. Every person on this planet should chant Hare Krishna. Every person in on this planet should have a personalized copy of Bhagavad Gita and Srimad Bhagavatam and Sri Chaitanya Chatamrita. And that can be one's goal, and such a lofty goal. Why not? Uh, so so we should engage in selfless seva, and that help us that increases our love for Krishna. And increased in the love for Krishna manifest by sharing that love with others through the selfless seva. So it kind of help, both things help each other. So we should definitely ask, why myself, what am I doing for you, Krishna? Just not ask Krishna, what are you doing for me? मुझे ये नहीं दिया, मुझे वो नहीं दिया. This is not how devotees approaches Krishna. They approaches Krishna thinking, what can I do for you today? How can I serve you? How can I serve you? So that way, that can be that is a mood that Prabhupada installed in the people of the don'ts. The most feared aspect of Krishna consciousness is are probably the don'ts, where no meat eating. No meat eating as an expression of non-violence and compassion, mercy. So we have four pillars of dharma, and these are the four regulatory principles support help us comply with those four pillars of dharma. And the mercy, daya is supported when we do no meat eating. Austerity is performed by not engaging in any intoxication. No gambling, as it foster greed, dishonesty, and anxiety. And this is the dharmic principle of truthfulness or satyam. And no illicit sex, to follow cleanliness, purity, or shaucha. So, mercy, daya, austerity, tapas, truthfulness, satyam, and cleanliness, that is shaucha. These are the four pillars of dharma. And in order to become a human being, we need to be able to comply with these four aspects of dharma. We don't become devotee. We just make ourselves uh, ready to become a to practice Krishna consciousness by it's first we have to become human. Prabhupada used to say that by doing these things you become human. Otherwise, there's no difference between you and animal. Um, so so these are the things that Prabhupada spoke about. Uh, in 1965, 66, when Prabhupada was preaching to young Americans, that time, most of them were, as I mentioned, most of them were in hippie movement, followers of hippie movement. And hippie movement was, the foundation of hippie movement was drugs. At the very foundation of drugs and alcohol and smoke and the illicit free mixing of male female. And 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 so that was like a common thing. Meat eating was, the Americans never thought of that to be anything wrong, because everybody ate meat right from birth. So it was not even considered to be a problem by any way. The church, when it changed the Bible, from Bible condition from no from thou shall not kill to thou shall not murder, um, it it created this chaos, and it just made the animal killing legal. legal and also acceptable for the religion. And then there was no end to it. Today, or even today, in India also, this has been a huge problem. And all these meat shops and the restaurants who are serving these meat dishes are mushrooming in every nook and corner of this country. What to speak of the world? But even in this country, which is like Deva Bhumi, so-called Deva Bhumi, so-called so much tirthas that we have, uh, every everywhere there is this is being sold today. And it's you have to make a real effort to avoid Nasik. On the bank just behind Ramkunda, the fish market is there, on the bank of Ganga, very much on the bank of Ganga. And recently we visited Nashik, and we were extremely sad seeing all this happening. But unfortunately, it's such a it will have Kumbh Mela next year, next and this is the condition of a dham where Lord Ram personally lived. Ram, he spent number of years there. Every part of that land is been Lord would have walked upon. The Godavari is Ganga, and this is what is the condition on in the, of the dham, and Jagannath Puri being no different. So some improvements are happening, but unfortunately this is the condition. So the four regulatory principles. So what is what is the goal of life? That was clearly given. What you should do is clearly given by Prabhupada, that what is the goal that you should ultimately achieve. And to achieve that goal, what you should do and what you should not do. What will be anukul, what is pratikul. These things are pratikul. If you perform these things, you will uh, struggle to perform devotional sadhana. So this is where body mind and soul comes into the picture. So this is the image of our mind. I was searching internet कि मन का कैसा picture होगा. So I saw this and I liked it. Sometimes we use our mind for receiving information and generate ideas. Sometimes this mind punishes us brutally. Mind is our bad master. So हथौड़ा लेके सर पे मारता है हमारे. And mind is a place where all emotions reside. So there can be love, there can be hate, envy, jealousy, whatever it is. Everything is inside our mind. So this is the image I found on the internet, and I thought I can use it for today's session. That this is the image of our mind, and mind will play a big role in deciding how we live our life. How are we supposed to live our life? We are supposed to live our life according to the instructions given by Srila Prabhupada. These are the don'ts, do's, and these are the don'ts. But our mind has to be our friend in order for me to be able to do those things consistently. Not just one day, not just 1 week, not just 1 month, but for the lifetime. Krishna says that Kirtaniya Sadahari. योमाम स्मरति नित्यशः अनन्य चेता सततम योमाम स्मरति नित्यशः तस्मात् सर्वेषु कालेषु no holiday. So what Krishna is saying is there is no holiday in performing bhakti. भक्ति में कोई छुट्टी नहीं होती है. इनफैक्ट छुट्टी होगी तो ज्यादा भक्ति करनी चाहिए. That's why we call this session as super spiritual Sunday. तो संडे में तो ज्यादा भक्ति करनी चाहिए. इसके लिए सो सो ये कैसे होगा. एंड इसमें सबसे बड़ा प्रॉब्लम क्या है. शरीर इज नॉट अ प्रॉब्लम because body will go wherever our mind will tell it to go. It's like having a hardware and having a software. So as long as hardware is there, it will work, provided software tell how to work and what to work. सो हैंड्स आर देयर, इट विल पिक अप ऑब्जेक्ट। अगर वो चाकू उठाएंगे और फल काटेंगे और चाकू उठा के मर्डर करेंगे, बट ये डिसाइड क्या कौन करता है कि मर्डर करना है या फल काट के भगवान को ऑफर करना है, ये हमारा मन ऑफ डिसाइड करता है। सो मन इज लाइक अ सॉफ्टवेयर, माइंड इज लाइक अ सॉफ्टवेयर, एंड दिस हैंड एंड दिस लेग्स एंड दिस बॉडी इज लाइक अ हार्डवेयर, एंड हार्डवेयर is best used by the proper software. सो अगर सो अगर हमारा ये हमें चीजें करनी है, डूज एंड डोंट्स, एंड टू अचीव दैट गोल, लॉफ्टी गोल दैट गो बैक टू कृष्णा, ये हमें करना है, तो हमको माइंड इज गोइंग टू प्ले अ बिग रोल इन डिसाइडिंग what we do, how we do, and if at all we do it. Mind, so without support of mind, uh, doing those things which that Prabhupada want us to do, Krishna want us to do, will be very difficult. Go to chat box and say that you agree with this statement. Say yes, yes, yes. If you agree, if you not agree, let's say no, no, no. But let's take a moment to use your chat box to say, to indicate, do you agree that without help from our mind, कंसिडर माइंड टू बी अ थर्ड पर्सन, उसकी मदद के बिना हम भक्ति कर ही नहीं पाएंगे, जो कुछ प्रभुपाद ने बोला है वो कर ही नहीं पाएंगे। ओके, सो ऑल ऑफ यू अग्री दैट ये माइंड, ये सॉफ्टवेयर इज अ प्रॉब्लम हमारा हो सकता है। अगर ये सॉफ्टवेयर हमारे वश में नहीं है, गड़बड़ करता है, तो हमारा पूरा चौपट हो सकता है, भक्ति पूरी चौपट हो सकती है। एंड अगर सॉफ्टवेयर हमारे साथ है, देन भक्ति कैन बिकम इजी। सो the single most important factor that will decide whether whether I can continue to perform bhakti for my rest of my life, from this moment till the rest of my life, is how my mind is shaped. What is my mind deciding, what is my mind telling? So मन का वश में होना सबसे जरूरी है। Okay, now this mind, how do we use this mind? So we thoda engineering concept, we use this mind sometime like a transmitter and sometime like a transformer. As a transmitter, we just mind use mind to transmit information. Whatever is there on the outside, it comes in the inside through the senses. uh, Eyes see, nose smell, then there's also various, the body touches, the hand touches things, um, so on and so forth. So various, using five senses, we keep sending lot of information, transmitting lot of information to the mind, through mind to the soul. And so basically the it's like a window, खिड़की है, बारी है, हमारे विंडो है, सो हम विंडो ओपन करके देखते हैं बाहर क्या हो रहा है। सो इट्स लाइक अ विंडो नाउ, इसमें जो जैसा है वैसा हमें दिखेगा। धूप है तो धूप दिखेगी, बारिश है तो बारिश दिखेगी। सो हियर माइंड इज नॉट मिक्सिंग एनीथिंग, एज इट इज पूरा दिखा रहा है। ओके, सो व्हेन वी ओपन द विंडो, वी डोंट वांट टू सी व्हाट वी वांट टू सी, वी सी व्हाट इज देयर। अगर धूप है तो धूप दिखेगी हमको, बारिश हो रही है तो बारिश दिखेगी, झाड़ है तो झाड़ दिखेगा। बट दिस इज जस्ट वन यूज ऑफ आवर माइंड। Our mind can also be used like a TV screen, like a transformer, to project images, to project videos, to project events, to project emotions, to project impressions. Uh, so this is another use of our mind. Now this is this is sometime mind work. This is where mind becomes complicated. If we simply use mind as a window, no, there is no complication, because we are simply using it to perceive the world around us, and we experience the world and we do accordingly. The problem happens when we start using our mind for projecting images. Now, this is where mind has to work properly. Sometimes mind work properly, sometimes it malfunctions, does not work properly. When mind work properly, it project images and things that are important for me or useful for me. But when that mind same mind malfunctions, it projects things which are unimportant to me or even harmful or distracting for me. Okay, so in order for me to do my do's and don'ts, if I want to remember Krishna all the time, then I need to remember Krishna. Mind should be able to show me Krishna. Yade. We have to remember Krishna. Remembrance is yad. कृष्णा याद आना, हिंदी में बोल सकते हैं कि भगवान तभी याद आ सकते हैं जब हमारे पास उनकी कुछ यादें हो. वी शुड हैव सम मेमोरीज सो दैट वी कैन रिमेम्बर कृष्णा. अब और हमारे पास कोई यादें ही नहीं है तो याद कैसे आएंगे. भगवान याद आने के लिए हमारे पास कुछ उनकी यादें होनी चाहिए. वी शुड हैव सम मेमोरीज एंड दोज मेमोरीज वी हैव टू क्रिएट. हमारे पास्ट लाइफ मेमोरीज नहीं आएंगे. जैसे कि भरत महाराज के पास था, जैसे कि गजेंद्र के पास था. गजेंद्र कुड रिमेम्बर हु ही वाज इन पास्ट लाइफ एंड दैट विद दैट रिमेम्बरेंस ही कुड ऑफर प्रेयर्स. Rutrasur remember that he messed up in his previous life. So while talking to Indra, he start offering prayer to Lord कि मैंने गड़बड़ किया था तो अभी मुझे भक्त नहीं बनना है, मुझे भक्तों का दास बनना है. दासानुदास बनना है. मुझे गड़बड़ नहीं करनी है, वापस वो मुझे बचा लेंगे. मैं वापस गिरना नहीं चाहता, ये असुर योनि में नहीं जाना चाहता. देन Bharat Maharaj, he remembered in the body of deer also he was remembering that he was Bharat Maharaj in his previous life and he got attached to a deer, therefore he became deer. So ये फैसिलिटी सबको नहीं होती है. सो ये यादें आना, प्रोवाइडेड वी हैव, बट दे हैड डन that done beautiful, that I mean they perform a very very high class devotional service to Lord and therefore they had those memories. So for us to be able to remember Krishna, we should create memories of Krishna. Memories of by attending classes more, by reading about Krishna, by hearing about Krishna, by taking his darshan more often, by glorifying Krishna ourselves, by worshipping Krishna by our own hand at home, by offering bhoga to Krishna, by cooking for Krishna, by serving Krishna. By doing these various things, we are creating memories for Krishna. And these memories will come to us. These यादें हमें याद आएगी. And that's how we will remember Krishna. But sometimes mind will project this when it will be properly functioning, but sometimes mind will function in another way. An alcoholic may see a bottle of water, bottle of alcohol everywhere, and he might be trying to give up alcohol also. But if the by mistake he sees some image that remind him of his past, it just gets stuck in his mind, and he's not able to think anything else other than alcohol. Someone may watch some obscene image or a video by mistake also. Nowadays, if you go on that, therefore we don't encourage people to go on YouTube and search for spiritual lectures, because I don't know what you will end up getting. So through AI, through our past indulgence, anything can come, and one may just get dragged. Want to, you may you may want to do this, but you may end up doing completely opposite thing, and you may not even realize. 1 hour may go, 5 hours may go. So it's very dangerous. So um, and one may watch such thing and it may get stuck in this mind. Now one may know that I'm not supposed to have think about this, but one is unable to get it out of one's mind. There is no, as if there's a program which has appeared on the screen without any delete button. I don't know how to delete it. There's no button only. So I'm forced to look at it. I'm forced to think of it. I just stuck in my head, stuck in my mind, not able to get it out. Someone may speak some harsh word to us, and we don't forget it so easily. It could be our boss spoke, telling something nasty to us, our spouse, our parents, our friends, uh, sometimes our children. So whoever, provided that person matters, they we remember those words. It is a Bhagavad Gita will speak about austerity of speech, and it will say that the words hurt more than swords. Why? Because swords wound can get healed. Sometimes the word the the injury caused by words remain there remain remains for lifetime. There's no healing. And all of us sometimes, we play with our mind in this way. Our mind play with us in this way, and at times we are stuck with things which we know are wrong, but we are unable to get them out of our head. So type yes in the chat box to indicate if you've had anything like this, or if you've heard of this happening to people. I just want to pause for a moment. Yeah, yeah, often it happens. Say, resounding yes. So, so this projection of mind, the behavior of our mind can be good or can be bad. We don't know which way mind will take us. So, what is our goal? We've been repeatedly talking that our goal is to transform our mind in such a way that it can help us remember Krishna all the time. Tasmat sarveshu kalshu. We can speak all these beautiful verses again and again, but that is the message. That is the message. So that we can remember Krishna throughout our life. And then we can remember Krishna at the end of our life, and we can go back to Krishna. 8.5 Krishna says how to go back to me, how to come back to him by remembering Krishna at the moment of our death. We can go back to Krishna. That antakale cha mam evam smaran muktva kalevaram yat prayati samadbhava yanti nastatra saushayah. There's no doubt कि if you can remember me at the moment of your death, then you will attain me without any doubt. And then tasmat sarveshu kaleshu mam anusmara yuddha cha mai arpita manobuddhi. And then ananya cheta satatam yumam smarti nityashaha satata kirtayanto mam yatantascha dృఢవ్రతా. Then so many ways in 10.10 also tasmat sarveshu alish tasya this mam anusmara this in 10.10 also Krishna says that uh, that lovingly, if you remember, bhajtam priti purvakam, uh, then tadami buddhi yogam tvam yena mamupayanti te. So continuously Krishna is harping on the repeating the same point, that you have to remember me always, and which will help you remember me at the moment of your death. Now, all of us will die. If we die remembering Krishna, we'll go back to Krishna. How wonderful it will be. So this is, and we need our mind to help us in doing this. So the goal is to remember Krishna, and we want our mind to help us do that. For that to happen, we need to work on our mind, cleaning all the negative tendencies that it possesses, which obstruct our remembrance of Krishna, as we now remember so many other things, so many people, so many events, so many emotions other than Krishna, on which our mind chooses to wrongly focus. So if you think of what thoughts you would have had. We started the sessions from 11 o'clock. Now all of you are supposed to be listening to the discussion, but even while listening to the session, while listening to this discussion that we are having, so many thoughts would have crossed through your mind, and which are not got nothing to do with Krishna. Type yes if that has happened with you. It has happened with me. What to speak about you? So while speaking about Krishna, also many things cross my mind, which probably didn't involve anything to which got nothing to do with Krishna. While speaking, it happened to me. I want to know, um, did it happen to you also? Yes, while speaking also, while listening also, it happens. So we're supposed to be talking about Krishna, and we are able to think of things other than Krishna. Hopefully, not about Bollywood. Hopefully, not about who is going to win England, Australia, in England, India series. Not hopefully not about Wimbledon or US Open or stock market. Watch which stock will open tomorrow, how, or any other things. But could be our household things. ये आया है, वो गया है, कुरियर आने वाला था, Amazon का फोन नहीं आया, और इट कुड बी दिस, इट कुड बी ये बच्चे क्यों कर रहे हैं ऐसा, ये माता पिता ने ये क्या कर दिया, क्या ऑर्डर करके रखा है, पता नहीं चलता है. It could be many things from our life, but it may be everything else other than Krishna. We are supposed to think about Krishna, and here also we are thinking of everything else other than Krishna. Possible. Sometimes we go in front of Lord and we're looking at Lord and we are not looking at Lord because we are thinking कि अभी मैं गाड़ी पार्क कर दिया है, पता नहीं गाड़ी पे बराबर पार्क हुआ कि नहीं, और कुछ तो ये नहीं हुआ ना, उसका कितना पैसा लेते हैं पार्किंग का, पार्किंग भी महंगा हो गया है, पेट्रोल महंगा हो गया है. This is what I'm thinking of looking at Krishna. I'm standing folded with folded hand, and this is where I'm thinking everything else other than Krishna I'm thinking about. So so it can be difficult. So our mind has so much clutter that prevent us from thinking about Krishna. So now we need to ensure that the mind help us in achieving our spiritual goal, but also this you know help us in our material goal also. Why? Because sometimes, now think of, these are simple things that we were talking about, but think about alcoholic people, think about the drug addicts, think about smoking addicts, think about porn addicts, think about internet addicts, think about social media addicts, think about Instagram addicts, uh, whatever. There are all kind of addictions today that are prevalent in the society, and those addictions prevent people from living their normal life also. Normal family life also get affected. The family gets destroyed, family, the divorces happen, suicides happen, the family gets separated, and all because of these stupid addictions. So at one level, if our mind is not helping us, it can create chaos, havoc in our life, even in material life, what to speak of spiritual life. So we need mind on our side desperately. By destiny, we have a certain type of mind. Um, uh, and that is to a great to an extent it is not changeable. It's like if you buy a iPhone, you get a certain kind of operating system. If you buy a Samsung phone or some other phone, you get some other kind of operating system. Now that is not changeable. There are certain apps, applications, that programs that manufacturers will give, and there are certain programs, and some of it you can make changes. If you're a good user of phone, if you're good with technology, you can make some of these changes, and some are not changeable, and something new can be added. You say you have iPhone has a map which is provided by the manufacturer, which I found quite useless. So, but I found Google Map easy to navigate, so I download, use Google Map. I don't use Apple Map. I can't get it out because it's given by the manufacturer, but it is there, it's just I don't use it. You downloaded Google Map, I use Google Map for navigation. So like in our mind also, uh, like that, there are certain programs which are by default, which we can use, uh, and which we can avoid using also. Now those programs are called instinct and impulses. Those are instincts and impulses. Instincts, I will also refer to them as inclinations, or vritti, or a swabhava, is generally considered as positive. Example is, we all can have a brahmanical vritti. A nature, by nature, somebody can be very peaceful, thoughtful, studious, uh, 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 you know want to deeply study subjects, um, um, by nature don't like violence, by nature is very cleanliness, they have liking for cleanliness, and this is the swabhava. Lot of it can be acquired later by association and by deliberate practice, but some people have this nature, and it can be referred to or instincts or nature or inclinations that are brahmanical by nature. Some have kshatriya kind of a mentality. uh, in the group they will try to lead always. Yeah, wherever they see chaos, they will always try to go interfere, पता करेंगे क्या हो रहा है, and then try to resolve issues. This is kshatriya bhava. uh, if you sometimes you see some chaos in the rains, sometimes there are traffic jams happening everywhere, every now and then, every Pune especially, I see it happening in every corner. And sometimes you suddenly see some people emerge from somewhere, and now they're not traffic police, they're not designated to have those solve those traffic problems, but by nature, they just take control of the whole situation and then start showing hands to people. आप यहाँ से जाओ, आप यहाँ से जाओ, ये करो वो करो, and then the traffic becomes start moving again. So this is kshatriya nature. So these are instinct, inclinations, vritti, swabhava, which is considered generally positive, and these are the examples of these vrittis. Impulses, on the other hand, are also referred to as vasanas. Vasanas, they are not positive. These are also called as anarthas. They are like lust. Now the lust is both gross and subtle. Now the gross lust is the male female attraction. Now that is also on the rise. The children watch pornography now because of the mobile phone. Everybody has access to everything. You can, if you wherever you are sitting, you can access porn video more easily than you can get a bottle of water from your refrigerator. The time taken to start a porn video or obscene image to appear on your phone is less than you fetching water from your kitchen. It is that speed, with that ease, everything is so available that the whole generations of all generations unfortunately have got hooked to it today watching. So this is being offered freely through various means and ways. Uh, and the whole generations are consuming, they are the consumers. That's why there is so much production and bumper sale are going on. And unfortunately this is where the whole generations of people are indulging into this. The lusty desires are fueled free of cost, at bare minimum cost. Unlimited data, unlimited internet, through various means, through various talks, through various images, videos, the web series, without any restriction, without any censorship, without any through advertisements. We were driving and there are jockey ads, the inner garment ads, where male and female models demonstrate their inner wears, how great they look by wearing those inner wears, and that's the only wear they are wearing. And there are huge pictures of them wearing those inner garments projected on the highways. So what to speak of seeing things wrong on the phone, but this is just can't get rid of it. They're everywhere. So the gross lust and the subtle lust is even more dangerous. The subtle lust is lust for respect, lust for appreciation, lust for man, for honor, for acceptance, for appreciation, and so though and etc. So when I'm not respected, when I'm not accepted, when I'm not honored, when I feel I should be honored, and that uh, hurt people's mind like anything. And lust not fulfilled gave rise to anger and greed, the envy. The anger is a huge issue with all generations. Children are angry, old people are angry, the grahastas are angry, housewives are angry, students are angry, politicians are angry. Everyone is just angry. They just hate each other, and so they just the lust give rise to anger, and that gives rise to envy, and there's greed, and there's attachment, and all kind of this we are just filled with all these things. Very difficult to stay away from these things. May not All of us may not have it in that same everything in the same quantity, and all the qualities in the same quantity, but something or the other will be there inside our heart, and only we know what is there. So I have so I'm so I have a lot to work upon, which means, so what do we do? Instincts to be developed and impulses to be curbed or controlled or regulated. How do we understand this? How do we do it? uh, the instinct is basically, if I have a instinctively I'm good at singing, and so what should I do? I should do abhyasa, and I should do vairagya. So I should do abhyasa. I should create, I should practice singing. And then I should do vairagya from things which can harm my voice, then which can prevent me from, which can distract me from attending my singing classes, which can, which will spoil my. I should do anything that is particular to my singing, and that is vairagya. So abhyasa and vairagya. This comes in a verse called, in the Bhagavad Gita, where Krishna speaks or Arjuna speaks this famous verse that. Chanchalam hi mana Krishna, pramathi balavadridham. And Krishna says, Asamshayam hi mahabaho. In the 6.35th verse, Krishna will say, Asamshayam, absolutely correct. You are right, O Arjuna. But abhyasa ne to konte hai vairagya na. By abhyasa and vairagya, you can overcome your mind. So, how do we do this? Take one example of Bollywood.com versus Bhagavad-gita.com. If you have been a big fan of, say, Bollywood.com, then you would have visited that website 100 times. And now you recently came across Bhagavad Gita and heard one, undertook one secret of success where they spoke about Bhagavad Gita. So now you want to find out what do you mean by Bhagavad-gita.com? What is there on Bhagavad-gita.com? So you go to your browser, your favorite browser, and type B. When you type B, the browser, because you've visited Bollywood.com so much, so often, for more than 100 times, there is an autocomplete that happens, and the browser tell you to go to Bollywood.com by default. By default, it tells you, directs you to the Bollywood.com, autocompletes. No, don't endeavor. I know where you want to go. That's how browser, as if the browser telling you. Now, but is this where you want to go? No. Why? Because yesterday only you heard about Bhagavad Gita. Now, to go to bhagavadgita.com, there is an endeavor that you have to do. You have to delete this entire Bollywood.com, and you have to type bhagavadgita.com, the entire address. Next day, when you again log into your browser, now you want to know more about Bhagavad Gita, and again you type B. Again, you will see Bollywood.com. Why? Because it just once that you use Bhagavad Gita. Worst is if you continue to use Bollywood.com, then the browser will think that maybe you want to go to bhagavadgita.com occasionally, but whenever you type B, it will keep auto completing Bollywood.com. Why? Because you're not giving up that. आप वो छोड़ नहीं रहे हो. आप भगवत गीता भी देख रहे हो, and every time you have to go to bhagavadgita.com, you have to actually type bhagavadgita.com, because autocomplete में वो आ नहीं रहा है. Why? Because the frequency of your visit to bhagavadgita.com are very less in compared to the frequency with which you are visiting bollywood.com. Now, assume you stop using Bollywood.com. Now you type every time you have to come and you have to manually type bhagavad-gita.com. Now this happens for 5 times, 10 times, 25 times. Now when it happens for 5 and 10 times, now the system upgrades the information. Now it says that you are equal user of both Bollywood and bhagavad-gita.com, and then it will show you both options. The Bollywood will be on top, bhagavad-gita.com will be second autocomplete option. So you can just come one down arrow and then hit bhagavad-gita.com and go. So now you don't have to type it. But if you stop using bollywood.com completely and keep using bhagavad-gita.com, eventually bollywood.com will become number 2 autocomplete and eventually will disappear from that autocomplete list. So this is uh, going to deliberately going to bhagavad-gita.com is abhyasa in this case, and not visiting bollywood.com even though there are temptations is vairagya. As we increase our frequency for bhagavad-gita.com and reduce the usage and eventually stop the usage of bollywood.com, to the degree we do this, to that degree we experience transformation of mind. This is what we need to do with each of our anarthas. If we need to develop our instincts, then we need to do them more often. We need to do what is right for me. What Prabhupada told me to do, those things I need to do more often. In order to do those more often, I need to create some bond with it. The bond is directly, if I can create a bond with, so for example, learning verses of Bhagavad Gita, I may naturally like it. I might be naturally good at it. Some people can be, and but some people can struggle with the verses. But whatever Prabhupada has told me to do it, so I should do it. And if I'm it's if it is not naturally, I don't have natural liking for it, then I need to create some artificial liking for it. I need to create some kind of a bond with it, either with the subject matter directly, or with the people who like reading verses, who like memorizing verses. I need to create bonds with those. So I either directly start reading and memorizing verses, or I approach those people, I become friend with those devotees who are good at remembering verses, so I create bond. Okay, so that way I'm improving and increasing the frequency of those things which I'm supposed to be doing. Certain activities are not good for us, they can be harmful for our spiritual growth, and then what we should do, we should create some boundaries for those activities. They may not, just like bollywood.com, if we keep using it every day, just like we use bhagavad-gita.com, there is no boundary. We have to reduce it. We have to reduce it, eventually stop using that bollywood.com, and then it will go out of that autocomplete only. So so the so eventually we should stop doing it. By doing this, creating bonds and setting boundaries, we are taking deliberate actions for transformation of our mind. By creating bonds for those things which we should be doing, and setting boundaries for those things which we should not be doing. What is anukul, we create bonds with that. What is pratikul, we set boundaries for that. So we have bonds and no bonds, boundaries and no boundaries. Okay, so the two accesses. Now this is the best situation for our mind transformation. Why? We have bond. We are of a brahmanical nature, so we naturally like recitation of verses. We naturally have a liking for study of scriptures. We naturally are able to concentrate easily on the meditate on the God, on the Lord, on His form, on His katha. It's some things comes to me naturally, and I'm also able to set boundaries for things which I should not be doing. So anukulyasya. Do what is anukul and avoid what is pratikul. If you are able to do both, this is the best situation to be in. For the mind transformation will happen rapidly. Worst is no bond. I have I'm an alcoholic, and I'm not attending seminars where they teach how to give up alcohol, or I'm not attending any I'm not taking any sessions where I will learn about where there will be, like-minded people who are addicts, who are trying to get out of that alcohol habits. So I'm not creating any bonds. Also, I don't have any boundaries. For example, if I store a lot of stock of alcohol inside my home only, so I don't have any bonds. So there is nobody to tell me don't drink, stop drinking, or give me some logical reason for not drinking. Give me create a situation where I will learn why not to drink or how not to drink, and also no boundaries because I have so much unlimited access to alcohol in my home itself. What is going to happen? This is the worst situation for control, because I'm going to keep at every problem that I will face, uh, I will keep going back to alcohol. I'll just never be able to come out of my habit. I will experience zero transformation. Even if I may have theoretically learned that giving up alcohol is important and necessary for me, I have no ability to do that. Why? Because I have not created bond, not created any boundaries for myself. So I will just get dragged into the alcoholism and remain in this stage for practically perpetually for this lifetime. The other two situations, there is bond, but there are no boundaries, is also not a very good situation. For example, if you're creating bond, you're meeting devotees and talking to devotees, and you are now you're inspired to study Bhagavad Gita, and you sit down to study Bhagavad Gita in a living room where everyone is watching World Cup final, whatever, Australia Women's World Cup final or India England match, whatever is coming up. Now you're sitting in the same place, and now you're trying to build bond with Bhagavad Gita, with things that you should be doing, or you may sit in the same room for doing japa. And every time this and but if because you're sitting in the same room where everybody is watching match or which watching a movie, every now and then they are going to say ha, who, he, and something or the other noise will happen, and you will, instead of looking into the book, you will be looking at them. What happened? You will ask them, अच्छा फोर मारा, अच्छा किसने, okay, अच्छा अच्छा कौन जीत रहा है, and you will forget why you sat with the Bhagavad Gita in the first place. What is happening is you're trying to create bond, but you're forgetting to create boundaries. So you're not able to separate the things which are pratikul, and hence, uh, you'll not see much transformation again. You'd hardly see any transformation here. So this is not a very favorable situation. We need to create boundaries. We need to learn. Initially, there can be time when we should not sit with the phone. When we should do japa, we should not sit with phone. Even if the worst message, also if it has to come, it can wait, and the world is not going to stop functioning because we have not checked our phone for 2 hours. So we need to create boundaries, and if you don't create boundaries, this bond, if you just work on bonds and but keep no boundaries, we may not be very successful. We may not experience a lot of transformation of mind. We have we have boundaries but no bonds. Now this is a very suffocating situation. Why? Because we are going away from everyone and everything that we considered ourselves for enjoyable things. But because there is no bond, we are we don't want to be told what not to do. We don't want to be told what not to do. We need to be told what to do. Because there's no bond, I just can't say, I can't just we cannot live with this mentality of saying no, no, no to everything. If there is no yes here, there is nobody tells me that I can't say no to food. But people, you can tell me that I can eat prasad, I can offer food to Krishna and eat, rather than staying hungry. This is like staying hungry. I have no knowledge that I have to offer food and eat, and I'm saying that eating food is sinful. Krishna has said. But Krishna has also said that offer food and eat. That is not sinful. So if I don't do this, I just try to do this, it can be very frustrating and suffocating for people to do function in the world. So this is also not very great things to do. So mind transformation, mind mapping front of you, this is the best situation to be in. Where you have bonds, we also have boundaries. This is worst situation to be in. No bond and no boundary. Thought of think of an alcoholic who is having a lot of stock of alcohol in his house, and he's not attending any seminar to to come out of alcoholism. Think of a person in this situation. For this situation, think of a person who is sitting in a crowded room where everyone is watching movie or watching a cricket match, and having doing ha ha hoo hoo, and here he is trying to study Bhagavad Gita or do his japa. It will not be very successful. One has to set boundaries. One has to get out of this situation and go to a place which is peaceful, which is conducive for spiritual practice, rather than sitting in this crowded place. And here no bond, and but boundaries will alienate us, will create us, will make us alone. A very frustrating experience for can be. So purification of the self, wanted to do this as an activity, but I can do this, we can do this as a homework, because I want to spend some time in taking questions. Now what we have done is we have copied the same information from our this thing, the what are the do's and don'ts that Prabhupada gave. The don'ts are, of course, the four regulative principles: no meat eating, no intoxication, no gambling, and no illicit sex. And in do's, we have chant Hare Krishna mantra regularly, study Bhagavad Gita, other Vaishnava scriptures, attend kirtan program, prayers at our home. Now, some of these will, I'll tell you, we can, we can think about this. Eat vegetarian food, and which is offered to Krishna. Now, for a mere boy, young boy coming from an American family, uh, practicing this is very difficult. A young boy who is met devotees, and coming from the a background where everybody at home eats meat, drink alcohol, and what to speak of American homes. Nowadays many Indian homes will have this situation, that people consider meat eating and alcohol drinking to be a social etiquette, and everybody from children to old people, everybody might be doing it. So today this is a huge issue. So for a boy who is come from a family where everybody is eating meat and everybody is drinking alcohol, practicing um, practicing no intoxication, no meat eating itself can become a huge challenge for him. And as compared to this, if a boy comes from a nice Brahminical family background, for him it will be very easy, because there is no alcohol at home. There is nobody eats meat at home. So everything is anyway cooked in a sattvic way. Now he just has to go and offer. So uh, at times things can be easy. These things can be difficult. For example, my boss is a smoker continuously, and every time he calls me, he go out for smoke, he calls me that I want to do some important discussions with you, so come with me. And though I am not smoking, I end up inhaling, performing passive smoking, because he's smoking and I'm standing next to him and discussing whatever the important work related matters. Now I'm unable to avoid him. What do I do? There could be a lot of practical difficulties that we all can have while performing these things. Many devotees have told to me that chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra in the morning is a challenge, because everybody is at sleep. I can't join session. I can't keep it on speaker. Even if I chant loudly, they shout at me. Nobody is chanting at home. There, nobody believes in God only. So for such devotees, especially young girls, young boys, this becomes a huge challenge. चैंटिंग ऑफ हरे कृष्ण महामंत्र उनको चोरी छुपे करना पड़ता है. स्टडी ऑफ भगवत गीता, वैष्णव स्क्रिप्चर्स. सो increase, give your suggestions. Now these suggestions can be something that practically you might have done, or you have heard other devotees doing it, or you have heard from some senior devotees that you can do. Chanting, how can I chant Hare Krishna Mahamantra regularly? How can I remember Krishna regularly? How I can increase my practice of eating prasad only? How can I practice compassion towards all living entities? How can I engage in selfless service more? How can I serve Krishna more? How can I serve devotees more? How can I serve this mission more, which is to take Krishna consciousness to each household, each individual person? एंड हाउ कैन आई स्टडी स्क्रिप्चर्स मोर? आई हैव नो लाइकिंग फॉर इट, मुझे कुछ समझ में नहीं आता, ना संस्कृत पढ़ सकता हूँ, न ट्रांसलेशन ऑन माई ओन समझ में आता है. सो हाउ डू आई डू ऑल ऑफ दिस? What bond I can create to to improve, to increase the things that I'm supposed to be doing? And what next is give your suggestions how to set boundaries for the below anti-spiritual activities. The meat eating, as I said, if I'm happen to be a in the family of meat eaters, what am I supposed to do? So this will be essay. We will circulate this as so I'll request Vikas Prabhuji to prepare uh, uh, basis this prepare this a Google form, and all of you are requested to give your information, type in information, take some time out, type as much as you would like to. Uh, I won't keep it MCQ, no multiple choice questions. So give your or pour your heart into those questions. Give me share, and those will only be accessed by me. So do not worry. And we can definitely, if you have any questions with regard to this, feel free to also raise those questions. We can discuss through direct personal calling. No need to put those questions across in the group also. So so the so the how can I set boundaries for meat eating, uh, intoxication? And as I said, very very different people can have different difficulties. Now gambling or illicit sex. Now well, again, that there could be lusty thoughts that might come in my heart. I might be engage in some relationships myself, and then how do I get rid of them? How do I move away from them? What do I need to do? How can I seek help? Seeking help is the beginning, and if we'll not ask for help, we will not get help, and we'll miss out on the opportunity of going back to Krishna. So to summarize quickly, and then we'll take spend some time for question answer. uh, Feel free to type the questions, I can respond to them later, or feel free to raise your hand and ask those questions. We have our a group of devotees acting as a co-host. They will help you with the questions. So just to summarize, devotees act with the mentality to serve Krishna, hence do not get reactions even though performing all kind of activities, even involving body, mind, senses. Goal of life is to attain Krishna, and mind is the most useful tool in this mission. By carefully dealing with mind's instinct and impulses, we can either become successful or become a failure. To develop instinct, we need to create bonds, and to regulate impulses, we need to set boundaries. This must be done at a personal level. Individual anartha can have different bonds and different boundaries. I may be troubled not by this but by that anartha, and it will be vary from person to person. So we need a mentor devotee's guidance, not because the devotee has gone across all those anarthas, he's perfect individual, he's not, but he will act like a perfect postman who deliver you your money order even if he's not rich, even if he's not rich. So he will act like that postman, that who will give you 10,000 rupees even though he is poor. He might be poor, but he's not rich, but he's doing his job properly. So like that, devotees, those who are mentoring you, may also have faults, may also have their own struggles, and that's expected. But they will help you because they will give you the message that they have heard. without mixing anything. So by delivering the same message that came from their seniors and ultimately from Srila Prabhupada, from Gauranga Mahaprabhu, their help will help us overcome our challenges. So seek help, and that Google form will help us. Asking for help will become easy through, hopefully, through that. So so this is what I thought we can share with reference to purification of the self. Again, it's a big topic. It's not very. This is not all that we could have shared. We can share more. All of you probably would have, through your own personal experiences, also would have had many more experiences. But for now, what I'll do is I'll take a couple of questions if there are any. We are already at 1 o'clock, 1:07. Mataji, are there any questions in the chat box? Anybody has sent anything? Or are there anybody want to have raised questions, have hands for questions? Yes, Prasanna Vadhana Prabhuji, you can ask question.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandatrana Mataji.
I wish a spiritual Sunday to everyone. Prabhuji, yesterday we had a Bhagavad Gita class, and then I have asked a similar question. So today's class about specifically about mind. So I would like to ask again in a little more detailed way that every time we have responsibilities in the society. So it's not for everyone that you leave the responsibility completely and come to spiritual path. It's not everybody is not blessed to be in exclusively in a spiritual path like you and many others in Ishkan. So we all have responsibilities, societal responsibilities, and because of those responsibilities, mind is hardly focused on one particular thing. It is always distracted. So it may be because of our own compulsiveness or responsibilities. And thing is, every time I get upset or I'm disturbed, so I used to think, okay, because of such and such situations, such and such people, that is why I'm feeling this way. So I always kept telling my mind that, because of this person or this person or this person, it is happening to me. Then recently, until recently, I found out that the enemy is not outside, it is inside. So it is my brain. So it has really blessed me with fairly good intellect. But sometimes when such a good intellect is turning against you by not listening to you, not focused, and so you don't know what to do, means you cannot run away. If somebody is bad, you can run away, or if some place is bad, you can run away. But if an enemy is inside you, how can you run away from you? So this is kind of a struggle and lot of struggle. So I don't know how to overcome this. So could you please help me to be more focused, to be so strong, so that whatever I say, the mind should listen
Yeah.
and should not jump here and there.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Mataji, for your wonderful question. So just to summarize that basically being a householder, you will have responsibilities. So you have fairly more distractions that to take care of. There are many things to be taken care of as part of your material duties, and hence, concentrating or only concentrating exclusively on Krishna becomes difficult. That's the question. So and so just to start with, I'm also a householder, Mataji. I am also a working professional. I work as a CFO in one multinational company. Work from Monday to Friday, 12 hours, 10 hours minimum. So this is our condition, and by choice we have accepted these conditions. And but we also know that continuous remembrance of Krishna is my goal. So I am here and I want to go here. Now, both things, when they become clear to us, finding a path to go there doesn't become very difficult. Why? We have to realize who we are and what we need to do, where we need to go. And then navigating is the only problem. Now, each person will have different life and different life challenges that they will have to deal with. Now, I might be my entire family now today been able to practice devotional service. Things could be easier for me, but we know many devotees in this group itself where the families are anti-devotional. What to speak of a neutral? They are anti-devotional, so they have to heed their devotion to Krishna. Japamala bhi छुपाते हैं. What to speak of? They can't practice openly because they could be housewives, they could be the spouses, they could be children, there could be daughters, they could be sons. So they are going to be having far more difficulties in their life to practice devotional service than somebody like me can be, despite of being in the Grahastha ashram. Now, these are individual situations, and we need to seek individual guidance to overcome those situations. The principles remain the same. The details will vary from life to life, from person to person. So for that, we can have a specific call, a specific meeting, specific discussion where we can exclusively focus on our part, our problem. But having said this, yeah, Prabhuji has just posted my mobile number. You can take down. My name is Mahapati Ramdas, and you can save it, and then you can send those questions. But the but the principle remains the same. And anybody in any condition can develop gratitude for Krishna, can develop that humility for Krishna. Because, as you said, Krishna has given you fairly good intelligence, but he has also given me a lot of problems. So, using Krishna given intelligence, we need to navigate through problems in such a way that we continue to remember Krishna. And for that, we need to bring in strong sadhana every morning, for example, because we need to we need to write down what we do whole day. Did this exercise with one devotee recently. Um, I said, please write down. Even if you say, yeah, I'm not able to, for some reason, I'm able to wake up at 8 o'clock only in the morning, not able to wake up early. I said, fine. So if you wake up probably 8 o'clock, you sleep at 12 o'clock, you write down what you do in all those hours. What's your structure day? What is your standard day looks like? And how you can fit 2 hours for Krishna, for japa. That you have to figure out. Because once we understand something is important and urgent, once we convinces ourselves with this fact, then finding 2 hours will be easy, will not be difficult. So again, individually, everybody's situations will be different, and that's expected. But through individual personal discussions, we can figure out what best uh, time I can find in a day where I can exclusively try to remember Krishna. The japa is such time. Reading is such time where we are associating with Prabhupada, we are reading purports, we are reading the conversations from Chaitanya Charitamrita, reading glorifications by various devotees in Srimad Bhagavatam. So this is exclusive time set aside for Krishna. And or we are listening to our mentors lectures which we have missed out, or so this way, we are exclusively connecting with Krishna during these times. And if we and we have to figure out how to create such time slots in our day, and what gets planned get done. This the philosophy followed in the material world. What failing to plan is planning to fail. So create a plan, and sometimes it will not work. That's all right. That's just the nature of this material world. Everything here is dynamic, I agree. But create a plan for yourself. Fit those 2 hours, 3 hours in a day where you will try to remember Krishna exclusively, without deviation, without any um, distractions. You can keep aside your phone and devote those couple of hours, 3 hours exclusively for Krishna. Maybe 1 hour in the morning, 1 hour in the afternoon, 1 hour in the evening. Maybe whatever permutation combination you can figure out, but use do that, and then it will uh, then Krishna will give you intelligence to navigate through all the difficulties that you have. So we have to do our part, and Krishna will eventually show us the way to navigate through the difficult situations also. Again, question is not to give up the family responsibilities. That question doesn't arise. And if we happen to be in the family life, household or life, we have to perform our duties. But while doing those, also we have to figure out how we can we can exclusively devote some time for Krishna. Okay, if that's helpful, Mataji. Yes, Gita Manjiri Mataji, you can ask another question.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Sadhu Pranam.
Hare Krishna.
Prabhuji, my query was, is this session available still later to go through again? Because it was really interesting and it solved many of my queries. So is it will it be available, Prabhuji?
Yes, Mataji, I'll be posting this on YouTube, and I'll share link. You are part of hopefully you are part of some groups that we have, WhatsApp
No,
groups.
actually, Prabhuji, I got this link through Rupa Mataji was coordinating this group. I'm
Hmm.
into this WhatsApp group. So I regularly get messages to join the session. Today I happened to be free, so I could join. I was lucky.
Okay.
So Prabhuji, my query is, as we were discussing in the beginning, that the Atma, we don't belong to this body. Our Atma is free. It keeps on traveling from one body to another, like we change dress or we do the role playing. But how about little bit confusion is there for me. How about when we perform after death rituals, okay? एंड जो तेरहवीं करते हैं हम लोग या फिर दिवाली के समय हम लोग क्या होता है जो पितृपुरुष का श्राद्ध होता है सो व्हाट इज दैट एक्चुअली दैट व्हाट इज दैट आत्मा थिंग एंड डू वी पे रेस्पेक्ट टू आवर एंसेस्टर्स और वी पे रेस्पेक्ट टू देयर आत्मास व्हाट इज इट एक्चुअली
Okay. So in the first chapter of Bhagavad Gita, जहाँ पे अर्जुन बहुत सारे reasons देते हैं युद्ध न करने के लिए, one of the reason he gives is वर्ण संकर. वर्ण संकरा, वेयर ही सेज दैट जो आज पिंडोदक क्रिया है कि पितरों के फूड एंड वाटर ऑफर करने की जो क्रिया है वो क्रिया खत्म हो जाएगी. Why? Because all these men who have assembled on the battlefield, they will get killed, or women and children will get exposed, they will get exploited, and from such exploitation unwanted adharmic progeny will be born, and they will stop this kriya of offering food and water. So the Arjuna also knew, and they have also performed this Shraddha Kriya of offering food and water for the just for the benefit of the departed souls. Now, this starts from the day the person leaves his body. The first 10 13 days, the person's soul is around the area where he has lived most of his life, wherever he would have lived. So he wants to see. He's seeing that having left his body, he's kept roaming around his household, around the place where he lived most of his life, and he observes what's happening. So therefore, some time is spent in shoka, that is lamentation. So that is grief. The some period is actually spent in grief, and later on we have to pick up our daily activities and start our functioning, and then the soul also prepares to leave for his journey. And as soul prepares to leave for his journey, onward journey, he needs to be supported by those who are left over by him behind him, typically children, wife, children, or if wife has departed, then the husband. So the relatives, the family member, the close relatives and the close family members of the of that person are expected to perform this Shraddha Kriya for the benefit of the departed soul, so that soul gets some benefit in his onward journey to the Yamaloka, or to the next life. So during the first 13 days, this is performed. At the end of 1 year, again this is Varshik Shraddha ceremony is performed, and it is said that that 1 year later he will have a judgment day where he will actually travel and reach the Yamloka, and he will be allotted or sent to the next body after 1 year. And then even if he is in the new body, the first 5 years one is expected to perform this Shraddha Kriya of offering food, and those benefits are delivered to that person whichever body he goes to. And so it is a duty of all the relatives to perform this action. And we see Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he got himself when his father departed, he went to Gaya and performed the Shraddha ceremony for the benefit of his father. Lord Ramachandra, when he was in Chitrakoot and Bharat comes and meets him, explains him that how his father had departed after the departure of Lord Ram from Ayodhya. Ram was not aware that father has left his body, and then so Ram as a Paramatma in everyone's heart is aware, but Ram as a avatar Purusha that he was playing, the role he was playing, he was not aware. He said, "I don't know." And then all the brothers, they went to the river and offered water for the departure of the on hearing the news of departure of his father. Lord Krishna himself, along with all the Pandavas, offered water for all the departed souls in the battle of Kurukshetra after the Kurukshetra war was over. So we see the I mean, Krishna do it for setting example. Uh, but this is what is expected out of us. If we have someone very close to us who has left his body, and then Shastra provides that we offer food for the whole Shraddha Kriya is a worship of Vishnu and offering food to Vishnu. And as a devotees, we do that daily anyway, every day. And we do this on those days as well, so that so so that the departed soul does get the necessary benefit as they progresses in the on his onward journey in this to the next life. Okay. And on the other question, we will upload this in on YouTube, and we will share with you the link. And we request you all to join these sessions very regularly. We meet every Sunday, and follow the group. If you're not in the group, send me a WhatsApp message. We can share with you the. I can help you join one of the groups where we post these messages regularly.
Thank you so much,
Mataji,
Prabhuji.
any other question in the chat? Anybody has? We have a couple of hands, so we'll take those questions and then we can go to the questions from from chat box. Yes, Sarika, Mataji, Swapnil Prabhuji,
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
Prabhuji, as you know, I stay in Piramal Vaikund, and Piramal Vaikund, we all have a Janmashtami coming up in August. And to celebrate Janmashtami, the temple has requested uh, to seek donations from all the, from society or from yourself. So I'm in one of the group now. What I'm doing is I'm asking my friends who are non-devotees. I'm asking people who are astic but they are not Krishna conscious, and getting donations from them, and they are giving me donations. I'm not asking very huge amount, a small amount, even 100 rupees. I'm asking, so will this donation, getting donation from them and giving it to temple, is it will it give Sukruti? My aim is to give Sukruti to them. Will it bring Sukruti to all my friends? They are basically my friends, college friends, school friends. So will it bring Sukruti to them, Prabhuji, by getting small amount and then donating it to the temple, Prabhuji? This is my question. Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Dandavat
Hare,
pranam.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Dhanat Pranam. Yes, Prabhuji. By using our Lakshmi in the service of Lord, uh, definitely they will get Sukriti. And this is a simple way of engaging non-devotees in the service of Krishna. Definitely, because the entire Lakshmi belongs to Krishna, and when it is used for glorification of Krishna, for service of Krishna, definitely their spiritual yatra begins, their spiritual journey begins. So it will certainly give them a Sukruti.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Dandavat.
Hare
Thank you.
Krishna. Dharatana. Kanchan Mataji, anybody, are there any questions in the chat box, or you can conclude? Radhika Mataji, you have a question? I saw you raising hand and then lowering it, so I'm not sure. You can speak a little loudly, not able to hear. You can not able to hear Mataji your voice. It's better, yeah. Uh, Mataji, are there any questions in the chat box anywhere? Or should we conclude today's session?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Krish Prabhuji has got couple of questions, and one or two devotee has also in between asked some questions actually.
Okay, okay. I think we can pick them up. Yeah. What
Now
is the
Radhika
difference
Mataji.
between changing our external habits and actually purifying the heart? How do we know our heart is really become purified? So, Mataji, we can go back to the example of Bollywood.com versus Bhagavad.com. And and basically by creating boundaries, boundaries, we are actually practicing Vairagya, and by not engaging in those things, as we said that just by visiting once the bhagavad.com, the old habit don't go away. Next time you go, you type, the bollywood.com pops up again. But when you do it consistently, when you're giving, so you it's difficult to ask our mind not to do things. If I tell you, don't think of a flying pink elephant, your mind will actually think of a flying pink elephant, because I'm telling you not to do it. So so we should tell mind what to do rather than tell mind what not to do, because then the mind will engage properly. So by continuously visiting bhagavad.com, eventually the impression of bollywood.com is becoming weaker. So initially, after when you visit bhagavad.com once or twice only, it doesn't even show up in a second autocomplete also. But later it appears as a second autocomplete. And later, if you continue using bhagavad.com more than bollywood.com, then bhagavad.com becomes first autocomplete, bollywood.com becomes second autocomplete. But it is still there, it is still there, so which means indicates that our habits are still there. But eventually, if you stop using that at all and continuously you keep going to bhagavad.com without fail, then eventually it will go out of that autocomplete also. So this is where you have overcome that habit. Now it's no more not doing it just because it is not supposed to be done, but you have got rid of that habit completely. So this is a purification of heart, because this is it's not that it will never come back. It can come back. There is a slight guard. If you become little loose in your guard slightly, and it might come back. It's like a tiger sleeping. You don't pinch a tiger to check if he's sleeping or he's dead. You just let it remain like that. And so like that, so our senses are like that. So so that's why we can understand that if it is truly uh, we can understand this, if it is if you're just doing it for namesake, because I'm not supposed to do it, which is also not bad. But or I have developed genuinely vairagya for it, and it will eventually happen also. Okay.
Prabhuji,
Yeah. Yes, Raj.
could could you please once more elaborate four pillars of dharma? What you said, could you just once more repeat four pillars of dharma?
Mhm.
And my second point is, as you said, mind, whether intelligence will play a role to control your mind and direct your mind or not, whether intelligence has a role play or not. That is my second point.
Yeah. So the four pillars of dharma is mercy, daya, austerity, tapa, truthfulness, satyam, and shaucha. And we follow this by daya, by mercy, daya, by not killing animals for food, uh, austerity, tapa, by performing staying away from all intoxication. No gambling is truthfulness or satyam, and no illicit sex is cleanliness or shaucha. What role intelligence play? Intelligence certainly play a role at times, but what what is seen is if uncontrolled mind also uses intelligence as its servant, and hence using intelligence only, you're creating boundaries for your anarthas. Using intelligence only, you're creating bonds with the things that you are supposed to be doing more often. So this way, using your intelligence, you are actually creating bonds and boundaries, so that mind can come under little control. Mind's anarthas can be controlled a little bit, and eventually you get complete control over them. So this is an intellectual activity that we are doing by analyzing for each one of us, what is my vulnerability, where I'm more vulnerable, what are my anarthas, what are my impulses, where I will go wrong, what I cannot control. So these things individually will vary, and by taking care of those things individually, by setting boundaries for each of those anarthas, we are trying to take care of one problem at a time, and at the same time we are increasing our bond with Krishna and his related activities, thereby it's we are working on both sides. So it's like if you want to reduce weight or reduce fat, for example, you have to eat less fatty food, and also at the same time you have to exercise. So you're working from both sides. One of these will also give you some result, but if you do both, it will give you faster result and more transformative results. So so that way, we are using our intelligence for the same purpose. Okay.
As you said, intelligence is servant of mind, but I think I was
Intelligent
thinking
becomes servant of mind, even though intelligent is supposed to be superior to mind.
superior.
Yes,
I
yes.
was thinking
Correct.
intelligence is superior to mind because mind is always flickering and mind is always after sense gratifications, which may lead to miseries, and mind is always after one desire, completion of one desire to another. So it is always miseries and miseries and miseries. If we use the intelligence at that point of time to control your miseries, to reduce your miseries, so mind can be controlled in a progressive manner. That is what I was thinking.
Yes, probably. Probably. That's what we discussed through bonds and boundaries.
Yeah,
Progressively, we are trying to take control over our mind. Okay.
yeah, yeah. Okay, okay. Thank you,
Okay.
Prabhuji. Thank you,
Thank you
Prabhuji.
everyone for joining. So some questions I can still see in the chat box. What I'll do is I'll download those and I can get back to all those devotees. Vikas Prabhuji, my request to you will be I'll share with you these slides, and you can pick up these slides, and from the last two slides you can create a form, a Google form, which we can circulate in the group later. So with this, let's conclude today's session. Thank you everyone for joining and staying back for another half an hour. We'll meet next Sunday with another topic, interesting topic from Bhagavad Gita. And until then, have a safe Krishna conscious week ahead. I know there are rains everywhere, and there could be flood warnings also being issued. But stay safe, stay Krishna conscious throughout the week. Join Japa session every day, and we'll meet next Sunday with another interesting topic from Bhagavad Gita. Thank you everyone for joining. Shri Jagannath Baldev Subhadra Mai ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Nitai Gaur Premanande, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Hari Bol. Hare Krishna to all
Hare
devotees.
Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare
Dandavat
Krishna,
pranam. Thank you
Prabhuji.
very
Thank
much,
you so
Prabhuji.
much.
Hare Krishna Prabhupada Ram. Thank
Prabhuji,
you
Dandavat pranam.
so much.
Wonderful
Dandavat
speaking.
pranam.
Prabhuji,
Nice
Krishna
speaking.
Prabhuji, Dandavat pranam.
Prabhuji,
Thank you
thank you
so
so
much.
much. Namaskar.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dandavad Pranam. Thank you so much. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Thank you, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Thank you.